how this philosophy has came about. It was my mom. So you guys love Momma Answers. She loves you. She prays for you. She was praying for you guys last night. I was too. We love you all. God bless you. And I was talking to her, and man, it was weird. It was weird hearing this from my mother. My mother told me something, and I was just like, what? And it was weird. We were talking about kind of what's going on with everything. She's seen some of the decisions I've made, even with whether it's investing, even how I've handled myself personally. Even, she's seen, me and my mom are very, very different. And she commented on my behavior, and she said something to me. I was mind blown with what she said. And what she told me was, she said, Josh, you know what? If I've, the way you're doing it, I don't know what it is or anything. And obviously it didn't sound this, she sounded a lot more foreign when she said this, but she pretty much told me, don't listen to anybody. That's what my mom told me. And it was very, very weird because I grew up in a very, very strict environment. And she said, just don't listen to anybody. And now this is why I'm going to talk. She gave me a Bible verse, and I'm going to read it from you. I was like, what are you saying? Are you crazy? And she's like, no. Let me, she's like, I'll explain it, but here's the difference. I hope you guys could understand. I really, really do. Because you know my mom, low key. Some of you guys actually know my mom. My mom sits at home. She prays, reads her Bible. This lady's never drinking a sip of alcohol, came from Egypt. She's like a good person, low key. I don't think I'm a good person. I think my mom is. I think, if anything, I'm blessed off of her being good, low key. So, I hope, when she says, she has respect, she's very, very foreign. She's Middle Eastern. So it's not like she's trying to say, be an asshole, don't listen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, and this is, I'm going to share it with you. You're going to see it. But this is what she said. She gave me a Bible verse with it. And she talked, and pretty much this is what it came down to. And I really hope all of you could get this. Again, that's why this philosophy needs a disclaimer. And again, special shout out to all my people. Because I know some of you guys are like, you don't believe in God, anything like that, and you're like, I still rock with the philosophy. You're here. I fucking love you. God bless you. So don't let any word or anything like that throw you off from here. And what I'm saying with this is because she just said everybody is going to have their own unique relationship with God. That's what she was telling me. She said, don't listen to anybody, because what God tells you is going to be different from what God tells her. Same thing for me now. So some of you guys, as a cult, we want to be this, we want to be that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what you have in your life is for you. Your relationship with God is very, very different from mine. It doesn't mean you don't believe in God. It doesn't. Who cares? The point is, your experience with God, with life, with success, with failure, business, it is going to be different than all of us, every single one of us. So she's saying, it's clear at this point, something's in your heart. God has something for you. You've been listening. You're making decisions. So I hope that's what she's saying, is that, listen, again, ultimately, my mom's telling me continuously put my faith in God. Continue to trust God and understand that this is where my relationship has led me, but to keep focusing on that. But now the same thing for you. And why? Why is that? Do you guys understand how important that is? I hope you do. Because some of you are on your path in life. You want to do something. You have all these goals, desires, anything. But now, what happens if you encounter other people? What happens when people tell you stuff? Especially if they're in your family, if they relate to you, if it's a good friend, if it's a business partner. Your path, are you getting where I'm going with this? Are you feeling me so far? Should I take a stop? I'm gonna drink and see, are you feeling what I'm saying? Are you picking up what is putting down, what is being put down? Yeah. You see, because people are gonna have stuff, and there's a story. I forgot the prophet. You guys remember that there's a prophet in the Bible, and he ends up getting eaten by the lion. I forgot who it was, but he goes and what happens is he goes to warn the king, and God tells him, go warn the king. No, it wasn't Daniel and the lion. It was I'll explain the story. You'll see. But he's going to say, hey, go see the king and tell him God is going to destroy your people, do this, do that. He tells the king, and the king's like mad, but then the king says, no, come eat with me. Come, I want you to eat with me, have dinner, and tell me more. But the instructions the prophet was given by God, he said, don't eat with the king, don't stay there. He said, go one way in and leave a different way that you came. God gave him very, very specific instructions. So what starts to happen is he goes, tells the king, the hard part is done. He has to go tell a king that all of your shit is going to collapse. That's a big deal back then. Literally, it's a very, very big deal back then. He could have got killed. Guy doesn't kill him. He's very bold, and he goes home. And then he listens to the instructions from the Lord. He goes the way he didn't go. So now he's walking back a different way. But then what happens is another prophet of God comes up to him. And he says, listen, I heard that you're a prophet of God. I'm a prophet of God too. You and I are both prophets of God, my guy. No. And he starts talking to him, and he says, no. But if you're a prophet of God, you should know God told me not to eat with anybody here, not to talk. He said I have to go back. And he says, I know, but God told me. I've heard that a lot in my life. He said, God told me. No. And he actually ends up lying to the original prophet. And what happens? He goes and eats dinner with him because he believes the lie. But then at the same time, right when he left, he was killed because he violated the instructions. So it's kind of a weird story, but the whole point is what God tells you is what God told you. What you have and what your path and your plan is, that's for you. It doesn't matter. So if anybody tells you, oh, no, but God told me this, or this was that, or this is that, no. I don't care what God told you. Once you have received and know what your plan is, you know you're going to get the drip. You know you're going to get, you know your life, you are going to be success. That's it. That's your path. I don't care what any else you say to me. That's it. And then because it doesn't matter what was said to that prophet. The point is you're going to live independently in your own life, but at the same time, your relationship with God, your life is your life. It's separate. So don't let, that's why some people will say, no, I believe in this. This is why you should do this. No, that doesn't meet my, that's not what I learned. That's not what I taught. Do you see what I'm saying? People all the time, but I'm like you. I thought we're this. I thought we're that. No. Come on. We gotta. It's weird. But we fall into that though. That's why I'm talking about influence, dude. I'm talking about pressure. I'm talking about literal peer pressure. And it's easy to get pressured if you don't know what your instructions and everything else was. And you have to recognize that God, from your family, from people around you, everything, you're chosen. You guys are all chosen in your own right. It's not like you're like fucking Zeus or Spider-Man chosen, you know what I'm saying? But you are. And your path, you're going to take different unique steps. What you're good at and talented about and have passion about, that is for you. That is literally set aside for you. But then you see other people doing stuff that they want to get into, they want to do this, or you see them having success in it, and you're going to veer from the path that you originally had because of that pressure. But pretty much, I'm just saying, your relationship is yours. Your relationship with God, your path, that's between you and God. So know yourself, know who it is, and know what you need to do. Okay? And that's the first part. But this is where it started. And she told me that. And then she gave me another verse. So I'm going to read another part of the Bible for you. Because then she told me to read this verse, and I got more than it. I got more out of it than she actually meant to give me. I could definitely tell. And it relates. Because what I'm going to relate to, it's like this. Like every single one of you, like I hope you know something different. And like again, like your signs in life, like I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't like to talk about it like this sometimes because I'm like I don't want to enter that realm of superstition. You know, I do flip the coin. I do believe in God, but I am logical to a degree. But like I told you, I used to be arrogant. I understand where logic fails. And I'm telling you about like kind of just your signs are going to be different, you know? And it doesn't have to be superstitious. It's like literally what's your sign to go play Spotify, you know? It could be evidence. it could be factual. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, in a sense, trust your gut, but it's all going to be different for you. You know, my signs that say, okay, I should go into this. I should go do this. This is where my path is. I should approach this. That's going to be different for the next guy. So she, again, all along this, she said, you should read this verse in the Bible. I said, okay, what was it? And I read it, and this is what I got out of it. I mean, I'll read it to you guys. So this is 1 Samuel. Jonathan's daring plan, 1 Samuel 14. One day, Jonathan said to his armor bearer, come on, let's go over to where the Philistines have their outpost. But Jonathan did not tell his father what he was doing. Meanwhile, Saul and his 600 men camped on the outskirts of Gibeah around the pomegranate tree at Migron. Among Saul's men was Ahijah the priest wearing the ephod, Ahijah, blah, 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 a bunch of people. No one realized that Jonathan had left the Israelite camp to reach the Philistine outpost. Jonathan had to go down between two rocky cliffs that were called Bozez and Sinai. The cliff of the north in the front of Mikesh, Let's go across to the outpost of those pagans. Jonathan said to his armor bearer, perhaps the Lord will help us, for nothing can hinder the Lord. He could win a battle whether he was many warriors or only a few. His armor bearer says, do you think it's the best? Do what you think is best. I'm with you completely, whatever you decide. All right then, Jonathan told him, we'll cross over and let them see us. If they say to us, stay where you are or we'll kill you, then we will stop and not go up to them. But if they say, come up and fight, then we will go up, and that will be the Lord's sign that they will help us defeat them. What's happening right now? You know, to give you a context of this story, you have what? You have what? I don't like philosophy jokes, okay? Anybody. Pay attention, especially when I'm reading my Bible, baby. Okay? He literally, this is back. This guy, they're in war. They're surrounded by a bunch of people. And him by himself. Do you guys realize that? Think about how crazy this is getting for him if you don't understand it. If this guy goes, he wants to go do this whole they're flipping the coin, kind of, exactly. Exactly. In a way. But where did he get this idea from? You realize they're surrounded by an army, and all of a sudden this guy is like, I'm going to go and do this, I'm going to go and do that, out of nowhere. He's just literally, he's trying to take on a huge task. You know why I think, do you see why this is funny to me? What does that sound like for some of you? Some of you were just sat in your room and all of a sudden you wanted to take on this big army. You got this idea that you're going to go out and get rich. You're going to fight in one of the most hardest industries to make money in. You're going to invest and you're going to take on this battle to be the only rich person in your family, to build off of what your family had, anything. Why did you get, literally, do you realize what the title of this is called? The title says Jonathan's Daring Plan. Some of you replace your name. And this is your 1 Samuel 14 is you getting into stocks. That's weird. This is Chad's daring plan, exactly. One day, Chad said to his boy, I think I'm going to start investing. Yeah. I think we came from this. I'm going to start getting into this. I'm going to trade. I'm going to get a long term. I'm going to get a drip. I'm going to start working. I'm going to get, you know what? Chad's daring plan to get real estate, and nobody in his family has ever owned land. Wild. Where did he get that idea from? So that's the scenario to all of this. That's why I'm saying, just think about it. He has this crazy plan to go do this, and he pretty much says, hey, we're going to approach it. If they say they want smoke, that's God's sign to go clap them. He says, if they tell us to fall back, we will fall back, okay? Simple as that. He said, give me my sign or not. So we'll cross, they'll see us. When the Philistines saw them coming, they shouted, look, the Hebrews are crawling out of their holes. Then the men from the outpost shouted to Jonathan, come on up here and we'll teach you a lesson. Come on, climb right behind me, Jonathan said to his armor bearer. The Lord will help us defeat them. So they did the plan. They saw him. My dude is outnumbered. Again, the odds are against him. They see him and they said, yeah, come fight. So they climbed up using both hands and feet, and the Philistines fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed those who came behind him. They killed some 20 men in all, and their bodies were scattered over about half an acre. Suddenly, panic broke out in the Philistine army, both in the camp and in the field, including even the outposts and raiding parties. And just then, an earthquake struck, and everybody was terrified. Wow. Israel defeats the Philistines. Saul's lookout in Gibeah, Benjamin, saw a strange sight. They find out who's missing. They found out Jonathan was missing. So I'm going to fast forward here. But pretty much, their little fight turned into something big. Everybody starts going crazy. Saul and everybody, they just start dipping. Everybody was getting confused now. So then pretty much what I said, even the Hebrews who previously gone over to the Philistine army revolted. They joined with Saul, this and that. Hopefully you could understand what's happening right now. So he's about to flip the coin, flips the coin. He approaches the dude. The dude says he wants to fight. He's like, all right, that's our sign. He starts messing with them. They kill him. But then in the process of it, everybody starts getting confused. There's an earthquake. And then now people are like, why is everybody running? And they're like, we don't know why running. Nobody knows about Jonathan. They're like, wait, where is everybody? Everyone, now it's turned to confusion. Kind of like COVID. So now this is the next part. My mom didn't mention this part when she gave me this story. And this was this one was interesting. Saul's foolish oath. Now the men of Israel were pressed to exhaustion that day because Saul had placed them under an oath saying, let a curse fall on anyone who eats before evening, before I have full revenge on my enemies. So no one ate anything all day. Even though they had all found a honeycomb on the ground in the forest, they didn't dare touch the honey because they all feared the oath they had taken. So at this point now, Saul, this guy, he really wants battle. And that's what he says. He says, until we get revenge on our enemies, no one's allowed to eat. He said, curse anybody. That's pretty wild. Think about it. He's saying nobody could eat now till we win. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? I want you to, I'm talking, isn't that funny? I just had to ban someone. They said, is this stocks market or church? This is why, I wish, God bless you, man. I'm here for you. Because if I was going to say that in finance, what does that sound like? No likes, no plays. Oh, no, no, no. Look in the mirror. Don't look at me. Look in the mirror. Don't look at me. It's easy to judge Josh. Josh has a lot of bad behaviors. Josh talks on the internet 7 hours a day straight. It's easy to find errors with Josh. Look in the mirror. Let's talk about stocks. Let's talk about money. Do you remember what this is called? The title of this is called Saul's Foolish Oath. He made an oath that was foolish. Why? He said, until we get revenge on our enemies, nobody eats. Here, just think about it. I'll keep reading. I'll tell you something. But Jonathan had not heard his father's command, and he dipped the end of his stick into a piece of honeycomb and ate the honey. After he had eaten it, he felt refreshed. But one of the men saw him and said, your father made the army take a strict oath that anyone who eats food today will be cursed. That is why everyone is weary and faint. My father has made trouble for us all, Jonathan exclaimed. A command like that only hurts us. See how refreshed I am now that I have eaten this little bit of honey? If the men had been allowed to eat freely from the food they found amongst their enemies, think how many more Philistines we could have killed. They chased and killed the Philistines all day, growing more and more faint. That evening they rushed from battle, plundered the butchers, but they ate them without draining blood. Some talked to Saul, and then blah, blah, blah. Eventually, Saul said he's going to kill his son. But that was the point I got out of it. What does it sound like? He literally, Saul is so obsessed with winning. That's fucking you, bro. So obsessed with winning, getting revenge. Keyword revenge. This is revenge trading. This is revenge investing. Anything you do to try to make up for something, or you're so obsessed with winning. It is a YOLO, but it's not a YOLO. He just wanted, I don't know. Maybe it is, because it's not like he didn't know, but he's so obsessed with it. And he made a stupid oath. But now think about what the oath was, what it had to do with. He made an oath not to eat. He said, none of us are going to eat. And even his son is like, dude, you just gave us, that was so foolish. What a mistake. Why was it a mistake? Jonathan said something to his dad. Why was it a mistake? I'm waiting. I want to know the mistake. Not God's will. No. It makes sense. You see what I'm saying? It makes real physical sense. It's not like God. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that super. It's not like, oh, God. Oh, no, we got to do the rain dance. No, because God said no. We must always understand what God, and God doesn't. No. Because he ate it, and what did he say? He said, look how refreshed I am. It was simply biology. That's crazy. He was like, what if, he said, even then, even for the idea of just killing, he said, bro, we could have gotten so much more. Imagine how many more of them we would have clapped if we just ate. He said, I had a little bit and I'm refreshed. I'm refreshed and we could take on bad. Isn't that funny? I think it's funny. What do I like to tell you guys? What do I tell you on the weekends? The last few weeks, last few months in the middle of all this, what have I told you guys? Oh, I told you to relax, enjoy yourself, rest, sleep. Weird. Very, very weird, right? Think about it now. How many of you are making foolish oaths to get rich and do all of this stuff, and you're like, I'm not going to sleep until I do this. till I do that. I got it. Then you go all, then you're fighting without any energy, when it's like, if you just relaxed, like Spotify's already up so much. See what I'm saying? Rest. Go get refreshed. It's full. Like, let the premiums die down, dude. Literally. Maybe I'm going to trade this every day. I'm going to make a trade every day. I'm going to make $200 every day. It's like, if you relaxed and then just made 20 grand on one trade a month from now, you'd be better off. You make me feel like I shouldn't be hungry to be successful. Well, that's the point. What did David said, he's like, I just had a little bit of honey. David was hungry too, so he ate a little bit, not David, Jonathan. Jonathan was hungry. Bro, this guy, again, don't forget, this was the same guy who just what? He went and found a battle for him. He's the one who went outside and said, I'm going to bring the battle to me. He was hungry. He wanted to fight. Oh, you see? He wanted what was going to keep him fight. He just wanted to fight. The food was going to keep him fighting. Do you see what I'm saying? I want you to keep fighting with that. People, it's not money. It's not this. It's not. That's why. Save your energy so you could keep fighting. He was hungry, but he wanted to win. He wanted to fight. That's the difference. I hope you want to fight. I hope you know life is a fight. We're all fighting. Man, shit. But how many of you are making these oaths? These random oaths that are just focused on, I'm not going to do until this happens. And you're burning yourself out. You're stressing yourself out. You think again, what we've been talking about, you think the short term is bigger than everything. Like, think about that. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, 100%. Me, it's okay. I've been there. I burned out heavy. This is why I value this stuff now. And I hope the younger you are, the more you value it, it'll be harder to. But this is the point. We could do it. We could kill a lot more. We could make a killing if you just got a little bit of nourishment. If you just ate a little bit. So why are you starving yourself for these weird principle? Exactly. Don't let your anger control you. Don't get so caught up in the battle, you're just making stupid decisions off of revenge. Whether it's revenge trading, getting back at the people who look down at you because of trading, because of getting back at all the people who never talked to you because of this, whatever. Just who cares? Do whatever you need to do to have enough energy to keep fighting. You know, your fight is going to be different than my fight. Where you need to go is going to be different, and you'll see. But at the same time, that's why your time is your time. Again, don't forget, Jonathan just took off. The odds were not in his favor. He had this crazy idea he was going to be a millionaire. He went against it, and he didn't have the numbers he had a lot of things not in his favor. He had the desire to fight. He was ready to go. He had God in it. He did it, and, everything took care of itself at that point. Really, what happened? Confusion. They will be confused with what you accomplish. And that's why I say that's God usually. You will see that. Yeah, GHC is popping, but nothing. So, don't forget where it started. He did a lot, and then he wanted to keep going. And he just wanted the nourishment. So don't be foolish with that. And, again, this whole thing was interesting. It just shows me that, when what my mom said, don't listen. You're right. Like, God has a relationship for you. You're going to have something different. If you're called for that battle, that's your battle, and do it. You know what I'm saying? Get that confirmation. And then at the same time, after that first battle, maybe one battle, and as we move forward and battle, that's how life is going to be. You make a little bit of money, and then you have to figure out taxes and stocks and real estate. That's it. Then levels and levels. And you're always battling. But get rid of these foolish oaths in battle. And I hope you see even King Saul was a man of God, highly respected, everything. And he still made a foolish decision. He still got caught up in that. So it doesn't matter who you are. It really doesn't. We could be foolish and get into these. That's why I say don't be closed-minded. Don't get so caught up in the situation. If you're too nourished, keyword is he had a little bit of honey. It's a very simple one. I mean, with all of this, it is touching on this bigger concept that we have discussed here over the last few days, and it's simple of what I've just told you guys, Just relax, like for real, like get nourishment, and do you understand the context of the Bible? That this idea of these oaths coming into battle and starving yourself and depriving yourself and hurting yourself to win, it has been foolish for the last 2,000 years. So even back then, it didn't make sense. Do you get it? That's the part that always gets me. It's more than 2,000 years. Yes, it's just never been a good idea. And that's where I'm saying with you guys, listen to what the point he even says. We could do more. Isn't that funny? Do you realize the paradox with that? Like, do you really understand the paradox with that? You take a little bit to relax. You get a little bit of nourishment. It will allow you to go more. It will allow you to do more. That's why I say for the paradox for some of you, you guys can't, some of you don't have enough faith to accept that. Does that make sense? Remember we talked about that last philosophy? What you do shows you have faith. You don't have faith in that. That's why do you think you trade how you trade? You don't believe that. You can't let go of this fact that if I relax for a little bit, I could do more. You don't believe that. Yikes. So I want you to think about this. And I hope you guys know it's on you to explore, prepare yourself, and develop that relationship so you know what's yours is yours. And regardless, you don't need it. When it is your time, it is yours. But do you see what I'm saying? Think about that. Again, that's key. You guys you're going to set your path. Not everyone's going to understand about real estate. If you're going to do this or do that, if you have that calling on your heart to do it, there you go. Do it. But don't be dumb about it. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you get your rest. Confirm it, if anything, too. So, I hope it helps. I hope you guys like this. Shout out to moms for this. I heard this from her, and I read that verse. She only wanted to tell me the first part, and then the second part came in with that revenge thing, and I was like, damn. I've been talking it, all of that, but it's crazy to think how it's came back already, or just how it came up at that time, and that's what I'm saying. I wanted to share that with you guys because, again, this has been something I've been seeing more and more, and I know, and some of you reach out. Again, I care about it, but I told you, I can't help with some stuff. A lot of you guys come talk to me in the chat. Some of you send emails. I read them, but I can't help with, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, you guys, I see a lot of stuff. This is why I do it on stream. I read the emails. I'm hoping some people need it more than others. Some people show up randomly. I think we all deal with this, but I really hope you guys are relaxed. And I guess there's going to be issues with stuff, but some of you guys, don't you realize, have you ever been hungry? You haven't ate all day and something that wouldn't piss you off pisses you off? Have you guys ever had that happen? Have you noticed that when you're starving, people are more irritable? Maybe you haven't slept. I'm a nice person. When I wake up tired or hungry, I have a little less patience. I get angrier easily. That's why they call it hangry, right? That's it. Come on. I'm like disappointed you all know that. Because it's just like, why as humans, or why do we act like this? We know this is, so think about it. That's physical food. But how many of you are acting like that with your financial situation and where you're at with life and your goals? Why do you think everybody's pissing you off? All of a sudden, everybody on Instagram is making you mad. Everybody on YouTube is pissing you off. Every ad, every person you see. Oh, my friends don't listen to me. Dude, you're tired. You're hungry. You need a Snickers. Go relax. No, I think it's wild. So, I hope it helps you guys. I hope you learn to stay, know what you have. Like, do what you got, and I agree. I want you to get, you'll know what is for you. Don't be stubborn. I mean, it's hard because it's hard to say because my mom told me that, but it was like, it's funny how she tells me this now, but all the way leading up to it, she just called me stubborn. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a story you could learn from. I think you guys will be wise enough to use it how you feel. But that verse got me. It was 2,000 years ago. It was interesting. And honestly, like, let me just tell you one more thing about that verse. Honestly, like, do you guys not realize where that whole verse with Jonathan started? So you realize he pretty much ended the war. But do you realize the next concept about that? This is why my mom told me. It just came back to me. I know the odds were against him, but the whole point of that story was starting with a little, baby. Saying what the power you have with a little. It was Jonathan and his boy. That's it. There was a huge army, this and that. So even with the little, he got this idea. And then even with two people, that was enough. That is a key concept that comes up. And I really hope you guys don't forget that. It always starts with a little. You have to believe in it. Imagine having a little and you say, I only have me and him. If they say they want to fight, we're going to fight them. If they say no, we're not going to do it. You don't need a little to do a lot with God, baby. Amen. I love you guys. So God bless you. And thank you to all the people who chose positivity. Thank you for all the people who liked the video. Thank you for all the people who literally come here every day. They like the watch lists are in there. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the people who gave me the benefit of the doubt. I know sometimes I could say stuff like what's it called? Honestly, like I say a lot of things. Thank you for giving me the benefit of the doubt, not holding it against me, understanding we're here for a mission, education. We want to make money. We want everybody to be here. Thank you for keeping it positive, following the rules again, and even foregoing some of your own desires, speech, freedoms, rights, all of that, so other people could enjoy the experience. Thank you. I mean it for real. Like, thank you. You chose positivity. Like, I just told you guys, I don't think you realize, I got like 10 or 20 emails. I think it was the same person, but I got, just for saying I like bull rat. So again, I appreciate all of you guys who just show love. I know I could say a lot of things. I don't mean to offend anybody. And if I do offend you, I'm not doing it out of any hate in my heart. So quite frankly, I don't give a shit when it comes down to that, because you should come talk to me. Let's be friends. I just want to be friends with you. I just want to hug the shit out of you. I don't want to fight with you. You know what I'm saying? Come here, girl. Why you being so stubborn? Don't be so hard-headed. Don't send me an email. Let me hug the shit out you. It's okay, bro. You know, like, why you even got to be like that? I get it. I'm a simp. It's fine. Call me a simp. Call me a sympathy play. Call it what you want, baby. Either way, I call it often, you know? So let's go. So I love you. God bless you. And you are the man. You know what I'm saying? You are the man, you know? So I love you. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the people who chose positivity for real. All the people who chose to follow the rules. You chose not to spam. And again, This is the main thing, bro. In this world of negativity, do you know how easy, you know how easy it is to pay attention or reward negativity when it's so annoying and it's in your face? Do you guys know how easy it is for you guys to not have accountability on the internet? You know how many people make email accounts, make accounts just to like what? To like spread hatred, to like go after somebody they don't like, to do the, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, so thank you for those of you guys. Just showed respect, showed love. You didn't participate that. And again, you don't have to be like that. If that's what you chose, it's always forgiveness and love. I don't think, again, I'm not your enemy. Go find anybody else who is going to help you with any of this. Please, please, please. I love you. I want to help you. And the best part is, it's not even about me, because there's other people in here who want to help. And shout out to all of the moderators, all of the people who aren't moderators, but essentially are moderators. You guys come here every day. You act as a beacon. You show positivity, and all the people who set positive examples of love and positivity for me. I know I was in a clappy mood this morning because I was in kind of a crappy mood, but you know what it is. So thank you guys. I appreciate it though. I'm not perfect. I'm only human. I'm going to try my best, but at the damn sure I'm going to keep trying, baby. I said I may fail, but I will keep my ass fucking trying. You better believe that. And that's the same thing for you guys. So let's go. You didn't get a philosophy. You got a mini philosophy. I'm going to hit you with left field. Don't you fucking quit and don't even think about it. That's it. That's the whole point. If you're a cult, it is defined by your effort to try. That is it. That is a difference. It's like the cockroach. You will always get back up. You are never going to quit. Will it look like you're going to lose? Yes. Is it going to feel like shit? Yes. Are you not going to enjoy it in the moment? Yes. All many things. Do you have many good reasons to quit? Yes. But you're not going to. That's the difference. You're in the game, baby, and you're always going to be in the game. It doesn't matter. That's the difference. That's what they don't have on you. That is your competitive advantage, is that you are very, very difficult to kill. You cannot be killed. That is a conscious decision to back out and quit, and you're not going to do that. I don't care you don't have to learn anything. Don't even go learn tech. Don't learn fucking shit. Just learn how to not quit, and I guarantee you'll make a lot more money than some smart-ass people who just don't have the will and desire to succeed and stay in the game, baby. You don't understand me. Some of you feel me, some of you do. But whoo! Is the mic working? I'm making sure. Okay, just making sure. I love you all. But hey, I won't drop too much on you. That FedEx is going crazy. Today was crazy. I love you all. I'm going to see you on the watch list. Second link in the description. First link, I don't even know. What the fuck am I saying? Oh, yeah. What I meant to say is, you know what you need to do now, baby. It's time to go bye-bye. But when we go bye-bye, you got a new goal. Your new goal, your new mish. What is it? Show some love, baby. You go see someone, they're getting into trading, they're getting into e-commerce, they're getting into anything. They just started a new job. They just lost their job. I don't care what it is. Do something positive for them. Go show them, give them a positive comment, give them a thumbs up. Do not underestimate the impact of some positive comments, my friends. Imagine all the people out there sending negative comments, all the people they have out there to make fun of them. How many people did you have to make fun of you? How many people do you have bringing you down in your life? How many people do you have leaving hurtful, hateful comments to you? How many of those do you see every day? You're not really seeing the positive ones. Go leave one, man. It's easy. It's light work. Costs you nothing. Just like this stream, baby. So go run it. What's the next thing? You see someone getting bullied, pay no attention to the bully. Hit him. I rebuke you. Throw a Bible at him. Actually, don't even throw anything at him. Let God handle it. That's fine. But show some love to someone. Give him a thumbs up. Again, show some love. It costs you nothing. And then finally, baby, strangest secret in the world. Richest man of Babylon. Proverbs, New Living Translation. That's it, baby. Let's go. They don't feel me. I hope you feel me. I hope you feel me, baby. Let's go. This is what I will tell you. This is how we're going to start the philosophy. I have a negative part and I have a positive part. So the positive part, you're going to like it. And I'm going to talk about that a little. It's just very, very simple. But I am also going to give you the negative part. Why? Because I think negativity always precedes positivity. And I hope you always remember that. That usually when things start to heat up a little bit for you, things start to get, most of you, it's going to get really, really good for you just as it starts to get bad, because it's literally it's like a signal to you, honestly. I hope you understand that. I really, 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 really do. So I'm excited because I think something big is happening or going to happen. But why do I say that now? Because I am frustrated. So I've been seeing, again, I've been working a lot. I've been exhausted in many different ways, whatever it may be. But I'm telling you now, I'm being honest with you. I've been frustrated with many, many different things. That's why the frustration, some of you, I'll clap people. I'll say some certain things. You guys could see it. So pray for me. I love you. God bless you. But hopefully you see at the end of the day, I am excited. Again, good and bad grows up at the same time, if you remember that, right? So there's that part, but what am I getting frustrated about? You see? And there's a few things I'm getting frustrated about when I'm looking. That's why, like, even I have so many philosophies, so many things I could think about, and then even in the middle of it, it's like, I'm so tired. I will go to bed. I will go relax. I'm out of it, and then I'm just like, oh, man. Then I think about one thing, then I think about the next thing, and then I think then there's this, and then there's that. I mean, so many things. And I think it's like the concepts I've told. It's not, someone says, like, people aren't listening. I'm already well aware of that. What it was, though, is just that, after a certain amount of time, you're going to get frustrated when you see things kind of stay the same, but more so you just see things kind of just taking the same beating. And that's what it is. Again, I don't know why I'm still frustrated by the fact that, and maybe I need to humble myself, because I was like, maybe it's like, oh, I'm frustrated because, like, I'm the only person who could help you, and you're trying to fight me. That's frustrating at times, because it's not frustrating by what you're saying. It's because I want you to have it. But then I'm like, humble yourself, bitch. Like, he could find somebody else to teach him. You're not the only one. You're not that important. So take something from that. Hopefully you could learn. But at the same time, though, there's been one concept that has frustrated me. And it's for a lot of you guys. And it's not, you see what I'm saying? It's not this stuff. It's just frustrating because this is what happened. I live in my own world. I check out of this world that you guys are in. I hope you know that. I check the fuck out. That's why I don't like your emails. That's why I don't like, can we be honest? I check the fuck out. I don't care. I really don't. This world's crazy. I live in me and Jesus, bro. I do that thing. That's it. Jesus, maybe I got like a girl here and there. If she still love me randomly, I got my family. I don't want shit to do with any of that. Okay. For real. Like, I'm in my own little world, but then sometimes I got to pop back in. I got to check up on LA. I got to do some work. I got to involve with this. And then I come back, and that's why I'm like, dude, it's still the same shit. So that's why I have to, I'm going to be frustrated for a little bit. But this is where I say that it's funny, because I am entitled to God. And that's what at the end of the day, I have to realize, things are better. We're doing good. We're here. We're moving forward. Life is good, and there is positive change. And I think that's why I love the cult, man. I love you guys, because you guys are a very, very real, tangible reminder that there is thousands of people who aren't on the same fuck shit, man. And I love it, and God bless you. I love you so much. That's why I try my best. I want you guys to have 10 times more than me, because if anything, you deserve it more than me, for real. So that's why I'm just like, amen, I love you guys, but it's frustrating. And this is the part that frustrates me. Or this is part I've seen, because I'm like, you guys are still on this, and why does it frustrate me? Because now I see it. When you don't experience something, then you experience it. I'm like, that's what it is. Boom, I know it, and I know you guys are underneath this. That's why you guys are always pressured all the time, and this and that. And the thing frustrating is kind of, I hope you guys don't get caught up in titles, positions, where you are at right now, and just understand you could do anything. Pretty much the thing that I'm frustrated about is I'm seeing people limit. Again, this is why it's frustrating. I have somebody tell me that they can't do something because they encountered somebody doing what they wanted to do, but that person was more qualified than them. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a lack of confidence or belief, but it's coming from, you see, and this is why, and I'm like, why do you think that? But then I go to LA, I go to different places, I start to see it. It's because all the time, you guys are seeing a lot of people, and everybody's just talking about what they do. Everybody's always like, oh, I'm this, or I've been doing this since I was little. I've been doing it since then, this and that. And then, I graduated from here. I did this. So then some of you guys, you have experience, you have mindset, you're so good. And then some dumbass with whatever qualification, whatever, I don't know. You're like, oh man, like maybe you don't let it affect you. Just the fact you start to question something that we haven't questioned in a long time. And it's just like, dude, it has to do with the experience. You're right here. No. It's not. Again, nobody. It's not me. It's like what happened last week. I was frustrated with one of the philosophies I gave to you because I had people in our company. They're come, and I'm just like, where does this come from? And then I see what they go through, and then I see it. Then I experience certain stuff, but I'm trying to figure out what changed. That's the question. Usually, a lot of you guys in life, and I was going to bring this up in the philosophy, what changed? And that's what I want to know. At one point, why did you feel so confident about something? And then now all of a sudden, you're insecure about it. That's what I want to know. What changed? For real. What changed? Can you pinpoint when things started to go wrong or when things started to be a little bit different? And that's what I've noticed with people. It's like, when did you start? My guy starts telling me, oh, but are you sure like I can make money doing this now? Are you sure I could do this? Because, I saw this guy, he graduated from here. He doesn't make this much, but he has 10 times more qualifications with me. I was like, what changed now? Why do you think that? What just happened? It's like, did you just encounter that person? Was that the first time you encountered somebody? Did you look up to him and then he did? Like, what was it that actually just changed right there? Because I don't get it. And then it gets even more frustrating is that if you can't understand where it changes, it becomes very, very pervasive. Because then it not only does it, because again, at the same time, that same person, it starts off as maybe I can't do this because of this, or that person is qualified there, so I can't do this. And then you know what it turns into? I start hearing the same bullshit from them towards other people. Towards people they're on the phone with, people they're going to work with, even me. They're like, but Josh, you didn't do this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you saying right now? So I hope you guys know that your qualifications aren't important. It's really not. I've said this before with the Bible. Go look at the disciples and anything of that. You guys know. I mean, I believe in God, and he says the principle of God is humbling, the cornerstone that the builders rejected. And it is easy to stay in your lane, but I'm saying, how do you? This is part of staying in your lane, but the part about it is that I hope you guys are ready for this, okay? Because again, I'm frustrated, but thank God I've experienced this before, and I'm prepared, but I have to take a step back and remind myself, because some of you may not know that now. So some of you guys, you're going to be building up all this, you're going to build your long-term, and it's going to be very, very good. And then you're going to encounter somebody who's not doing as good as you. Literally, they will not do as good as you, and what's going to happen? They're going to tell you their background of how they were this. They went to college for finance. They interned at JP Morgan. They did all of this, and they're not where it is. And that's going to you're going to change something about that. Or then you might encounter enough people as you start moving up. I'm preparing you guys to move up. So guess what, you fucker? You're going to move up, and you're going to experience people that have different qualifications from you, especially if you came from not knowing anything. There's going to be a lot more people qualified than you. So when you start to meet them, you cannot change something. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why I'm frustrated? You cannot, this isn't the time to change your mindset. This isn't the time to change your attitude, your skills, or anything. It is, I'm telling you, be prepared for it. Be very, very, very prepared for it, and do not be swayed. Do not let every wind, teaching, or anything toss and turn you. That's why I like you guys who are consistent. I love you because I'm a weird person, and you've stuck with me. You don't get tossed and turned. That's why I love it when people, they love me for a little bit, one little thing, that boom, they're gone. Or this, that, they go for the play, boom. I love it when people throw side eye, because guess what? You're not really here. You're getting tossed and turned. You're with me for a certain reason, but you're not here for me. And I understand that, again, and I hope you understand that I understand that, so that you guys could, if you're really here for me, I want you to understand the same thing. So as you build the people around you, your group and everything, remember, not everybody's there because they like you. Some people will hate you, but you have the same enemy. They'll be there. Some people are constituent. They just want the money that you bring, and that's fine. Be aware of that so you know who to put your trust into and who not to put your trust into. Don't put faith into everybody. That's fine. Let them do their thing. So I love you all. God bless you. But you're going to experience this stuff. And I want you guys ready. And I don't want you getting tossed and turned with every single thing, because you're going to meet people like that. You're going to meet people to put you in on this. And this is why I'm saying this, because that's the negative part about it. But it is frustrating. You know, it is frustrating. And again, all of this, I mean, my biggest frustration right now in life is that I don't want people to make mistakes. It's not even with me, and it's stupid. I'm mad. The low key, that is like, why I wish I could. Like, I don't know. But then again, it's just when I have to remind myself. So it's not that big of a frustration. You know, I love all of you guys regardless. I want to raise the bar. That's it. I want the bar higher. And at the same time, I like it because each one of you guys, some of you are new and and that's what makes it hard too. Some of you are new, you're still talking shit, you're new. But some of you now, you've gone here enough, and this is who it's for. You guys are going to get to that point. You are going to start getting better and better. But what are you going to do when you encounter a real estate guy who you guys are on the same level and you can compete and you can be in the game and he should respect you the same, but then you're still insecure about your own work. You're still insecure about your qualifications. You understand that? So this is the main point of this. Don't be insecure about it. And I need you guys to get solid with it now and understand that, because insecurity is what's leading you guys to act out and get into fucked up situations. You're getting insecure that I didn't read your email. You're sending me a nasty one. You're insecure because of your past experiences. You're insecure with what this guy did in his past, so now you're doubting your real estate work. Now you're doubting this. Now you don't want to make music for this reason. You don't want to get into this for that reason. Huh? Makes no sense. The insecurity is leading to problems. So you have to be secure with what you're doing, and I'm getting frustrated about it because of I don't. You guys aren't. You are more qualified than me in many areas. But emotionally, you're folding the cards on the easiest shit in the world. I mean, easier said than done. God bless you. I mean, it really is. But I need you to get secure with it. And a good thing, you know, what I reminded them, that person, they're telling me like, this person did this. I said, let me remind you, you're in the same playing field right now. You guys are going for the same, dealing with the same properties. And guess what? Reality of it, you're driving a nicer car than them. You're making more money than them. Why do you care what college they went to? Why do you care what they've done? Why is that even an issue right now? This has nothing to do with it. So please, be secure on the path that you're on. Be secure and understand what you're long-term. And if you're not secure in it, go educate yourself with it so you can be secure in it. It's very, very simple. Okay? So that's the first part, but then it leads to the next part. It leads to the positive part, because that was still positive. I hope you guys know. I only say negative because it is frustrating. And I'm glad that and you know, you see why, you know why I talk about frustration? And I know it's for me as well too, because if I talk about it with you guys, that's me being aware of it. I love it, because when I'm frustrated, I like to say it, because I'm not going to let it creep up on me and then be like, oh, why are you doing this? No. I already said it. I said your name, bitch. I said frustration. What do you can't do anything to me now. You see what I'm saying? But it's positive in its essence, because I just don't want you guys insecure about this. But I've been dealing with this, and like I see this with people. I'm like, dude, this is wild. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first part, but then it leads to the next part, and it leads to something for all of you to be happy about. To even, again, you're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It's an Uncle Answers line, and I really want you to take this. Here's the positive part. Okay? Turn to one time to forever. What does that mean? He said, I went from barely to Bel Air, got to the top floor from the cellar, turned up one time to forever. My life is better and better. I can't believe that we made it. All that we needed was patience. Come on, what does it mean, baby? Have any of you ever had that happen? Where you were only supposed to do something one time? You were only supposed to graduate high school. Then you got a bachelor's. Then you got a master's. Right? You were only supposed to play in the game one time. You end up becoming the championship one time. You weren't supposed to be your whole life. Yeah, you feel me, huh? Someone feels me on this. Somebody feels me on this. Amen. You do only need to get rich once. My first became my long term. Some of you got lucky and then you didn't give it back. Turn a one time to forever, baby. That's important. That's the positive side about this. That's what I wanted to tell. I'm like, dude, turn your one time to forever. Let's go. What do you think this is? Turn to one time to be forever. That's it. Do you see what I'm saying? You have this one opportunity. I don't care where you came from, this and that. But you're in this, but you have to do it. Think about it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is a concept that I think a lot of people, I don't know. I'm like thinking about it even while I'm saying it. I don't know why. And this is the focus. And I hope you guys know. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter your education level. Doesn't matter where you're from. The idea is if that opportunity slips into your hands, what are you going to do with it? Do you see what I'm saying? How many of you see why? That's why it's like, why be sad about all you have to do? It's not about where you came. It's not about anything. All that it's not about what does Lil Wayne say? He says it's not about what you walk away with. It's what you walk away with, not what you walk away from. But that's kind of what I'm asking. But obviously, I do care a little bit more. But think about it. This is your one time. Some of you have, it doesn't matter where you came from, anything like this, because if you got it one time, you make the most of it. That's it. That's why some of you guys make a big trade. That's why I'm saying it has to relate to stocks. I want this mentality out here. You only need to get rich once. You need to turn a one time for forever. But you can't. Are you seizing these opportunities? The one time, once in a lifetime opportunity, literally, are you seizing the opportunity that you're even on a competitive stage with somebody that you, keyword you, would judge as more qualified than you? Think about it. That's why you got to make decisions that are smart, but that's why I'm saying be wise. You're listening. I hope you listen. I hope. Because what happens, some people get an opportunity. This is richest man in Babylon. Do you guys realize I'm telling you richest man in Babylon, right? Do you guys know this, right? This is what the whole story is about when you get wealth and how most people end up squandering it because you're youthful, you're younger, whether it's people, influences, spending habits, anything, or mainly the desire to keep growing it on a crazy level. So really pay attention. Be smart. You guys have to understand where all of you are at now. You have your money tree. Some of it is bigger than others. We are not going to uproot that tree. So don't. Keep it there. The main thing, again, I don't even know what to say with this. But I'm just saying, whether you feel insecure, this and that, all I'm telling you is that this is your one time. This is your one time to turn to forever. How you play this. If you start your long term today, all you got to do is make one good decision. Seize the moment, my friends. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. That's the whole message to all of it. So I don't know. I don't know if I could give you anything deeper. I wish I had some crazy analogy. I wish I had something in it, but I think it's just simple and it says it right there. that's pretty much it, man. I want you guys to know that. And, I'm more frustrated that it's me needing to stay in my lane because I'm frustrating. Some things haven't clicked for some people, and not even people like on the stream, but more like in real life when I look around. But at the same time, though, it's like I'm aware of it, and at the same, this is all of our moment. And it's just a reminder: turn a one time to forever, man. What you could do, you have enough to do it with what you got. That long term, everything. So that's what it is. I hope it helps. I love you guys. Make some moves, baby. Okay. Turn it, please. I hope you do, man. I really do. That's why I'm like, don't blow it. You see what I'm saying? That's why don't sacrifice. Like, you think it's not enough. We could turn it to a forever. Like, just that's it. So don't gamble it. Don't try to stretch it. If you're doing good, don't gamble it. Remember, read Richest Man in Babylon again. Remember, just cling to the wisdom that got you there, and understand you got enough to make it this far. So like, don't forget to the truth. Don't forget about the truth when you've been on the path for so long. That's what I'm saying. Even for me, it's like, bro, I know so much. Like, why would I even get frustrated? You see what I'm saying? I know too much. I got to remind myself. Same thing for you. Same thing on frustration all the way down to fortune. So God bless. I hope that helps. We're going to talk about the prodigal son today. And the main point that came to me is what I want you guys to understand, okay? For real. This is it's kind of like, I was giving you I was screwing with you, and I was like, what happened, right? It's like, maybe you are imagining Josh. Maybe Josh is imagining you guys. Isn't that funny? Remember, that's a weird concept, and we kept talking about it this morning. We were having fun with it. It'll make you laugh and all that, but there's a really, really funny part about it. It has to do with your mind, my friend. It has to do with your mind. Everything starts in your mind. So I think I've heard this before from T.D. Jakes, one of my favorite pastors. It stuck with me. And it's really, really true. Think about this. When you guys wanted to trade stocks, where did it start? Did it start on Robinhood? Did it start on TD Ameritrade? When you made your long-term account, did it start with the first book you read? Where did it start? Think about it. Did it start with Robinhood? No, it didn't start there. Come on. You really think it started there? It didn't start there. Fuck that. It didn't start on any flat. No, it didn't start there. Remember, I asked you guys, I said, when did it change? Think about when things changed. Where did it start? There you go. I'm seeing the answer. Dude, it started in your head. To say that's why stocks are so trippy when you start, because you're like, there's no instructions. You don't know where to start. Everything's in your head. But you started in your head. This was all an idea. Straight up. Whatever it was, whether it was Wolf of Wall Street, the dude on the internet, something you read, something you saw, advertisement, something planted a seed, and then you kept thinking about it. And then in your mind, as you've progressed to become where even how you listen to me today started with your head. Some of you didn't give a shit about me, but then you started listening. And then it wasn't what I said. I may have said something, but I got you thinking about it more. And then in your mind, something came to you in your mind. But all of you came to an idea. Every single one of your trading careers, your businesses, your companies, your lives, and most of your decisions, it literally starts with a thought. So don't underestimate the power of your thinking, first of all, but this is the main concept that we need to understand. You guys want to get fit. When I wanted to go to the gym, when I was you guys know I was very, very overweight. I weighed 195, 96 pounds, and I was 5'6". I sat at home all day. All I did was trade. I would go eat outside. I didn't do no push-ups for years. Every hour, every day. I'd be sitting here, no push-ups. I had nobody to tell me, nobody would make fun of me for not running. I didn't go to the gym. There wasn't, literally, it was bad. It was very, very bad. And I really hope none of you have to get to that point to make good decisions with your health. I really, really don't. But at the same time, at one point in my mind, I decided to take care of myself because of the thought. That's it. I came to myself in my mind and said, I'm going to go start working out. I need to take care of my body. I don't feel good. I don't like looking like this. I know I could do better, but I came with the thought. I didn't go to the gym. I went to my mind and I started working out in my mind, and then it led to the gym, because then the days I would go to the gym, the days I would do push-ups, guess what? Just like trading, the days I would trade and not make money and take losses, I knew in my mind, I kept thinking that I said, no, I'm going to do this. Like in my mind is where it started. I came back to myself and said, this is what I'm going to do. You see? So it's a little different. And I hope you understand this concept, because that has to do with all the good things we've done in life. But I hope you know too, it's the same thing that happened with your negative stuff now too. Remember I talked to you about insecurity yesterday and why I was like, why the hell are you guys acting like that? Where do you think that started from? It started with a thought. Something made you feel insecure one time in your life, and then something kept feeding it and thinking. It started with your mind. That's what the same thing happened. So this concept is very, very important. So what we're going to talk about here is I'm going to read you a story from the Bible. It's one of the parables of Jesus where he starts speaking in story, but there's a key concept to this. And I think it reminds me of a lot of all of us. Honestly, it's not even you, it's all of us. All of us are many characters in this story. You could apply to it, and I promise you, this is like an OG Bible verse, but if you keep your mind open, because what I've learned is that every time I've read this thing, bro, I get something different out of it every single time I look at it. It's even the same thing with Jesus and the fishes. It's like you've heard this stuff, but you reflect to different characters at different moments of your life, I would say. So here is the story, okay? Where is it? I love it. So this is the prodigal son, parable of the lost son. To illustrate this further, Jesus told him this story. A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings, moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all his money in wild living. So do you guys understand what's happening at this point in the story? So he goes up to his dad and he says, hey man, listen dad, I know you found the TLT, but I think I want my portion of the TLTs, and I'm going to go invest in weed stocks from now on. So he said, give me all my TLT money. I want my TLT money now. He takes up all his TLT money and goes packing the ACB land to go rage, because he's like, I got this now. That's it. Okay? Have some fun. But he packed all his belongings, moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all of his money in wild living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. I love this part about this story. You know that? Because most people in the story, when they're reading this, you guys all just think he had the YOLO demon. And it's funny because it's not just the YOLO demon. It's not like he ran out of money. And not only did he run out of money, but the future problems that he could have prepared for in this unknown and future, that also hit him at the same time. It wasn't like he just ran out of money and was like, no, he both had his own decisions, and then the natural circumstance of the world also hit him too. Because that's how real life works. That's why when I tell you guys save your money, when I'm telling you don't be impulsive, you make a big trade, don't spend anything for a month, you know why? Because it's not like you're going to blow your account. Blowing up your account is one part of it, but what happens when you blow up your account and then real life hits as well? You see, I'm not messing with you guys when I tell you, save the money, prepare the cash balance. Because at one point, remember we've said this, I've said you guys are going to be like, I wish I had the money. I wish. It's because that's what we plan for. We plan for the future, and we're positive as shit, right? People think we're Disney, church group, whatever the hell you want to call it. But we're positive about the future, but every single one of us plans for the future, and we do view it positively because we take safe measure. You know, we're thinking about it. However, that means that future is going to come, and that future being planned, we're positive about it, but we also know that's going to mean some red in the portfolio, but it means we're diversified, you see? So not only did his personal decisions lead him to go broke now, He takes his inheritance. He wants it early. He goes and parties, blows all his money, but now real life also hits at the same time. I think this is a part of the story that most people miss out. Because then we always think because you think you could go back to better. You always think you could go back, right? All of you make all this money. You make a big trade on Tesla. You think you're going to sell out at break even. You all think it's going to, but that's not how it works in real life. You think, oh, I'll just do this. Some of you think I'm just going to be mean to people. I'm going to go send Josh a bunch of negative emails and then I'm going to be nice to him and then everything's going to be good. I love you and I will probably be nice to you still, but that's not how everybody's always going to treat you. You know, you have to really think this is just life. So this is there's a big shift coming back here in this story. I want you to have the context. So great famine sweeps over. He began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his field to feed the pigs. This is where it keeps getting better. I hope you understand. And it reminds me of me at many times, and all of us, I think, at points in our life. So now he goes from TLT, profits, give me the money. He goes, parties it all away. A famine hits, and now he had to persuade somebody to hire him. That's why, again, save your money. Be smart. Don't trade in your blessing for big gains, because maybe one point in life you might have to persuade somebody to give you a job you normally wouldn't never have had to even consider. Again, my man over here, he just had an inheritance. And now he has to convince somebody to pay him to feed his pigs. Do you see? There's usually a cycle when you make one bad decision. That's why you got to be careful. And even if you make one bad decision, remember the other day, people, I remember Sam called in and I said, stop tripping on it, bro. Because if you let one bad decision lead to the next, it's a chain effect. Object in motion will stay in motion. So he goes from take the money, parties it, blows it, now the famine. Now he is convincing people. He has to convince somebody to give him something he normally wouldn't have even touched. Interesting. So he says you could feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. So now he's so bad, even the pigs are eating more to him. And now here's the best part. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home, even the hired servants have enough food to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. It's funny because in the King James Version, it says he came to himself. This version says when he finally came to his senses. Isn't that funny? Do you realize what that text is implying? He finally came to his senses. You had that money in your account the whole damn time. You knew what you should be doing, but you didn't act on it. When I was not working out and getting fat, I saw myself in the mirror. It was just one day I finally looked and my body didn't feel good. I was in pain and I finally came to my senses. I said, I'm done with this. One day I got rich, I got broke, I got rich, I got broke. And one day I finally said, I'm done with this. Remember, I even told, how many of you remember TLT? We had the 100,000 in there and I told you guys something. I said, we're not giving it back this time because that's what we did last August. Remember I said that. I said, not this time. I finally came to my senses in areas. Hopefully you have too. But that's the point. He may have known better. He may have done all this. But eventually, at one point, that was the turning moment. He came to himself. He looked at the mirror. He finally said, no, this is what it, like deep down he knew. And he literally, the emotions, the feelings, his desires to do this, he came to his senses and said, dude, here's the reality of the situation. Why am I living like this? For me, it's like why I have the ability to go out and work out. I could eat healthy. I could take care of myself. I'm young. I used to do this. Why would I not be doing this right now? I have every reason to. It's because I'm being lazy or I want this. It doesn't make sense. Why am I not? Honestly, how many of you are not making a long-term portfolio? It's the same shit. That sucks because that's why I try to tell you guys all the time, because one day you're going to come to your senses and come to yourself and be like, damn, maybe, yeah, it makes sense. This isn't gambling. I don't have to trade. I want my money to work for me. You see what I'm saying? You're going to come to your senses. But that's what happened to him. Eventually, at one point, he came to his senses and said, dude, the people at my dad's house, the people where I left, even the servants had better food to eat than I do. Some of you guys, that's it. You guys switch strategies. You go from TLT to trading penny stocks. You didn't make one day trade and you made all this money. Then you go to day trading and then you're like, when is it going to click? When is it going to click? All of your friends that all they do is take money from you. They take your time. They don't care. None. It hasn't clicked yet. But he's like, he looked at the fact. He said, bro, those guys are doing, the servants at my own home were getting more food and I'm starving. So he made the decision. He finally came to himself. And then he said, I'm going to go home to my father and say, Father, I've sinned against both you and heaven, and I'm no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant. Interesting. I love that part. Because he knew he was wrong. He humbled himself. But I love how he didn't even come with the entitlement that I would come in as. I think I'm more entitled than him. Because I would have probably been like, yo, Dad, I'm back. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. But no. He gave a whole different attitude. He just said, listen, I'm not even I already blew it. He took the L. He's like, listen, I took it. I'm already bad. He said, all I could do is maybe I could get a job with him. I'll work back again, even if it is my own dad. Again, and this is the point. This story is so messed up because it hits all of us so fucking factually, bro. I'm telling you. Because it starts where we all have all this stuff we take for granted, and you make bad decisions and anything, and then it turns just into like we try to fight to get the shit that we already had, the shit that we didn't value, the $2,000 you started with. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't care for it in the beginning, and now you're like, oh, if only I could get the $500 of it, you know? and all sorts. It's crazy, but this is life. And I don't know what you believe, this is that. I just think it's funny that this was written over 2,000 years ago. And I'm like, it's like that. It's the same with human beings, bro. We're doing the same exact thing. But it's interesting in this case because he's like, he just wants the job. He's like, I'll come back. But he humbled himself. And I could learn from that. Even reading that now, I'm like, maybe I need to take that. You know, I'm entitled all the time. I know God will forgive me and this and that, but I'm like, damn, maybe I do. Maybe I should, if I'm gonna humble myself, ask for forgiveness, maybe I should take on a different role. That's it. Maybe I shouldn't take on it, fall back a little bit. I'm gonna try. But obviously that's not how the story ends, but you see his attitude and heart about it. But he returned home, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, Father, I've sinned against both you and heaven. I'm no longer worthy of being called your son. But his father said to his servants, quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we have been fattening. We must celebrate with the feast. For this son of mine was dead, and he has now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found. So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house and asked one of his servants, what's going on? He said, your brother is back. He was told, and your father has killed the fattened calf we are celebrating because of his safe return. The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, all these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing you told me to do. And in all that time, you never gave me one young goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, you celebrate by killing the fattened calf. His father said to him, look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found, baby. I'm not done. I just had to keep it flowing for you. He finally goes back, and from a long distance, his dad's like, that's my son. He's like, yo, he's coming back. And he comes in with the humble pitch, and his dad says, bro, you talking crazy. He said, you're in a cult, bro. Your name is Chad. What the fuck? Get your chest to the sun. Let's go. But then what happened? His other brother gets mad. He's like, Josh, why didn't you clap him? You supposed to clap him. I said, I've been in here this whole time. Why didn't you clap him? He said, I don't get it. It's all Josh. But it's important, though. I'm not, all jokes aside, I want you to understand something. You see the story, you see people, you see the son, the dad, the brother, but do you not realize what the brother is and what his dad did and that whole part? It has nothing to do with anything, man. All that represents is shame. I hope you understand that. I hope all of you understand that is shame. Because he wanted to go back to his dad, and then what did he say? He was like, well, he was so shameful. He was like, I can't even ask for this. So then when he starts coming in there, he's not expecting to make a right decision. Some of you have made bad decisions. You've blown the account. So now when you're like, maybe I could start a long term, maybe I can make it, you feel shameful about it. You don't even feel like you deserve it. So then you're walking towards it. But little do you know, when you choose positivity, when you choose making the right decision, it's going to throw a party for you and it's going to be excited. And then also at the same time, there is going to be the people who've done right their whole life and they will get mad. That's why I tell some of you, if you've done good in your life and things are good, don't ever shame somebody who made a mistake and wants to make a good decision now. Because your whole life, you've done good, you've been aware, you know good, you're going to get good, and you have more coming for you. But now, that person didn't. And now something's changed for her. So we should be excited that they got past the shame. They thought they couldn't even come back to doing the right decision and taking care of themselves because they were so shameful about what they did in the past. And then, of course, here's the people who did good, quick to say he spent his money on prostitutes. He blew the money. He did this, when it's like, nah, not even. He did that, and there's consequences, and he dealt with it. But at the end of the day, you have yours. But they're back. We should all be happy if someone gets the bag. We should all be happy if someone chooses positivity, if someone makes a long-term. You see what I'm saying? But, yeah, so that was cool. Good drop on that news. Parable of the prodigal son. I mean, like I was saying to you guys, it's the shame of it. And just don't be the son. I know some of you already said that, but you get to see. And I think the best part is there's two main concepts. The two main concepts to this whole philosophy is very, very simple. It starts with your mind. Nothing, it didn't have to, it wasn't, he just came to himself. He literally looked in the mirror. He looked at the facts of it and just said, like, why? Like, why am I living like this? Why am I doing when I don't have to? Have you guys ever thought about that? Like some shit that you've ever dealt with? Have you ever came to that conclusion that you are not obligated to live like that? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not obligated to do certain things. Like, you don't have to, like, it really doesn't have to be like that. And yeah, I know it's hard. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I know your situation and I know there is fucking dire situations. I get it. But at the same time, I don't even want to say but, because I'm not trying to, come to yourself. It's in your mind. And what your thoughts are very, very powerful with it. But that's where the goal starts. Again, most of you guys, it starts in the mind and it comes out. I want to make this change. I believe in this. I think I'm this. All of that stuff. It has a point. And then at the same time, if you guys are like, all right, well, how many of you are in this situation where you feel like the prodigal son now? So now you're like, all right, I want to go back. But like maybe I'll get but you're just shameful. That's it. A lot of people don't want to, because then it's like, or you're expecting that thing. And that's why I'm saying, like, smile, bro. Go. You don't be shamed. I mean, you could go back when you make the choice to like take care of yourself. You see what I'm saying? And you make that choice in your mind and you're going to say, I'm going to make these positive, good decisions in my life. Again, you let your morality judge it. I'm not going to tell you what that means, but it will be better than you expect. The thought saying it's not going to go back to normal. It'll never be like this, or this is like, you see, it's not, what's the word? nihilistic. Don't be a nihilist about it. So I hope you guys realize that. And at the same time, if you're somebody who's never had let's say you've never strayed in that sense, right? You've made good decisions. You went to school. Your life is good. Your family, your relationships, everything's good. I encourage you to show compassion. Yeah, apathetic. That's the word I was looking for. I encourage you to show compassion on your brothers and sisters who didn't make the same decisions you did, but want to. Who want to, because I would rather have, that's why I tell you guys, like, for real. I appreciate you guys. Even if you don't like me, I'm not your enemy, because at the end of the day, it's like I would rather, as somebody who's came from the pig pen, I would rather like to see you eating at the table than barely having enough in the pig pen and being surrounded by all that and people and what it brings and the attitude it brings, because it just made me angry and a bad person. And I let the world have it, and hopefully you don't have to. You guys see, I'm like asking for forgiveness when I let it. If you see me now when I get bad, imagine if I didn't care, like actually, like when it came down to that, So I hope it helps, man. I really, really hope you guys could do this on both sides. Show love if you've done there, and some of you have made good decisions. The positive people, I've said it. Some of you, your whole life, you are inspiring. And you guys, people look up to you. So I hope that you guys can show compassion to those who want to make a good decision. And at the same time, only you can make the decision, you guys. Like, only you can decide, this is what I want. I'm going to make this goal. It starts with the change and what you keep telling yourself. But at the same time, what I am telling you is don't be afraid, and don't think that you can't make a good decision just because you've made bad decisions. This is part of it. Do you realize this is how you stop losing money trading when you're on a bad streak? It's just like, you have to, don't believe you're cursed. It's not always good. You have to step in, put your foot down and say, no, this is going to be different. And so don't be afraid to get back on it and try again just because you've had a setback or anything of that nature. You may think what you've done, you have your imagination of what you think it's going to look like, but I promise you it never does end up like that, ever. So you'll be good, all right? But that is your philosophy, man. It happens in your mind, and I really want you to start a lot. That's what I'm saying. Leaving here, I expect you guys to start a lot of things in your mind today, and try to. You know what I'm saying? Start it in your mind. What is it? Keep reminding yourself, because that's where it happens. It's not while you're working, while you're hungry. That's not what's going to happen. It's when you're in your mind, you're going to say, why am I hungry? You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be like this. I want this, and I'm going to do this, and that's it. So we good. I give your girlfriend, I give Michael, I love you, Michael. Oh, God bless you, and your girlfriend. She holds it down for you too. So it's all love. Amen. But get crazy, it relates to you. Bro, it relates to everybody, man. That's what I said. And I said, we'll all read this. Everybody thinks it's this and that every time. Everybody could relate to that story. We've all been the prodigal son. We've all strayed at one point. We've all been shameful. We've all judged somebody who made worse decisions than us, but got what we got. So, we could all relate to that story in many, many ways. And I think it's just take the principles from it. And I encourage you to smile, and that's it. Now you're not going to give up today no more. You got to come to you see, in your mind, when you said I was about to give up today, that thought came to your mind today. Now there's a different thought. Cling to the latter one. You see, take that and run with it, because if you say, no, I'm not going to, it's just in your head. It's what you decide. And if you blew up account, made a bunch of bad decisions, you wasted your life, you didn't buy a long term for 20 years, I don't care. You could act today to make a good decision, and it will be better than you think.